Good afternoon, welcome, good afternoon. Today I thought I'd do something a little bit different. I am on the floor because I'm going to show you some exercises, very, very simple and straightforward exercises and a few stretches that you can do in bed. So if you can't get down onto the floor, it doesn't matter. We can all get into bed, so here's a few very, very simple exercises, a couple of mobility exercises, a couple of strength ones and a couple of stretchy things that you could do in bed, and you can do them ideally first thing in the morning when you wake up to help wake yourself up, or you could do them before you go to sleep at night, up to you entirely. Good afternoon, thank you very, very much for joining me. Okay, so make sure you've got a pillow in your bed, obviously. So first exercise is just very, very gentle mobility. So we're going to lie down with your knees bent. We're not going to worry too much about the posture, but try to, oops, I'm losing my microphone, excuse me. Try to, hold on 1 minute. Try to relax your shoulders. Make sure your shoulders are not hunched up to your ears. Relax your shoulders, relax your arms, relax your ribs, and bend your knees. So, actually, let me start off with some little pelvic tilts. So just tilt your pelvis up and tilt it down. So you're just going to lift your tailbone up a little bit and then relax it back down. So imagine your pelvis nice and flat like this. Just tilt it up and tilt it down a little bit. So you're getting a little bit of mobility in your spine. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining me. Getting a little bit of mobility in your spine. Hello, how are you? Very, very small movement, just tilting the pelvis forwards and backwards. It's nicer to do it lying down than it is to do it standing up. So if you've got back pain, if you've got a stiff back, this would be a lovely, lovely exercise to do. Just really, really gentle pelvic tilt. So just lifting up your tailbone and relaxing it back down. Lovely. So that's really, really easy. Okay. So then the second exercise I'm going to do is just a very, very gentle leg slide. So all you're going to do, I'm going to move back a bit so you can see me, is slide your foot along the bed and then slide it back. Slide the other one along the bed and slide it back. Obviously, you've got to make sure your covers are out of the way. So if you could tighten up your pelvic floor and squeeze in your tummy as well, that would be great. But also try and focus on keeping the hips and the pelvis nice and still. But even if you didn't, even if you didn't worry about that, just to straighten your leg and bend it again is just a really, really good mobility exercise. Helpful if you've got arthritis or hip or knee replacements, just to keep your joints moving a little bit. So really, really easy, basic exercise to do. It's just a single leg slide. Slide the foot away, slide it back, slide the foot away and slide it back. That's really, really easy. Next one I'm going to do, another mobility exercise, is a hip drop. So your feet and knees are together. You're going to keep one knee still and you're just going to let this other knee drop out to the side. Now, try and keep it controlled so it's not going too far, and then bring it back to the middle. So then the other leg's going out to the side. Let me turn slightly so you can see what I'm doing. So the knee's going out to the side, and then it's coming back to the middle. Then the other knee's going out to the side, coming back to the middle. I've got cramp. Watch out for cramp. If you can try and keep the other knee still, that's not moving, that would be fantastic. Cramp. And then again, keep this knee still as you take the other knee out to the side. So it doesn't matter if it only goes a short distance. If it doesn't go very far, that's fine. If you've got quite stiff hips, or if you've got hip replacements, your knee might not be able to go very far out to the side. Better that you do a very, very small movement than do a big one like that and your knee moves, your other hip moves, your pelvis moves. That's not what we want. We want a nice controlled movement, just a nice slow and controlled movement, taking your knee out to the side. So this is going to be mobilizing your hips, warming up your hips a little bit, going to be mobilizing your hips. If you just had a hip replacement, this wouldn't be something that you would be doing. But if you've done all your physio and you'd start doing this very, very gently, very, very small movements. But if you've got arthritis or you've had a hip replacement a long time ago, then this would be fine to do. As long as you do what's comfortable for you, comfortable for your body, not causing any pain, and hopefully squeeze the tummy and lift up the pelvic floor. Okay, next one I'm going to do is a strength one. So this is for your legs. So again, if you've got arthritis of the hip or the knee, this one would be a lovely one to do for strength, for working your muscles. As we know with arthritis, you can't actually solve the arthritis. You can only strengthen the muscles around the joints. So that's what we're going to do. So you'd have one leg bent and one leg straight. Turn this way so you can see me. All you're going to do is lift and lower this leg. So start off by lifting up the pelvic floor and squeezing in the tummy. Keep this knee still. All you're going to do is lift this leg up. Lift this leg up. That's all you're going to do. So you're going to keep this knee still, keep the pelvis still, just lifting and lowering this leg. Now if you keep it quite low to the floor, it's quite hard work. If you've got a bit more mobility and you want to lift it up higher, you can do that. But it's still quite hard work just lifting it up a little bit. If you can straighten the leg as much as you can, that's really going to help to work these muscles, the thigh muscles. You're working the hip flexor, this muscle here, which is all helpful. I'm going to swap legs here. So keep the other leg still, straighten the other one, and you're just lifting and lowering it. So you can lift, you can put it back down on the floor in between, or if you're very clever, you can not put it back down on the floor in between, just keep it lifted. Can't fit into the thing because Facebook told me not to use the landscape view. So I'm just lifting and lowering this leg. So this is a strength exercise for working the muscles around your legs, around your joints to really, really help with arthritis. Okay, I'm going to do a stretch. So I'm going to do my favourite stretch, which is a glute stretch. So your knees are hip distance apart. Now, if it's comfortable, you're going to cross your leg over. Again, if you just had a hip replacement, this wouldn't be comfortable for you and you wouldn't be doing this just yet. But if you can, turn your knee out. If it's not painful and it's not uncomfortable, turn your knee out. You're going to feel a little bit of a stretch down this glute here. That is the easy level. Really, really good idea to stretch out your glute muscles, especially if you've got back pain. These muscles can get very, very tight and that can cause tension in your back. It's really, really good to release them and stretch out the glute muscles. So that's the easy one. So just do it on the other side. So you're going to cross the leg over, keep the knee turned out if you possibly can, and just hold it there. So that's the easy version. So I'm going to show you the harder version. Harder version would be to pick up this leg. So I've got my left leg crossed over my right leg, left knee's turned out. I'm going to pick up the right leg. So you need to squeeze the tummy in, hold on to the right leg and lift it up. And then that way, pulling it in, you're going to get much more of a stretch down there. So this is a really, really, really nice stretch to do. Very good to do it first thing in the morning before you move, just to really stretch out your glutes. Okay, let me do it on the other side. So I've got my right foot on the floor, I've got my left foot on the floor, my right foot crossed over, my right knee's turned out. I'm going to squeeze the tummy and hold on to the left leg and pick it up and just bring it in towards you as much as you can. And breathe. So I'm getting a stretch down here. So that's the easiest stretch to do in bed, a glute stretch. So that's lovely. And the last thing I'm going to do is a chest opener now. Make sure you've got a nice comfortable pillow to support your neck. I'm going to be on your side. Make sure you've got no partners or cats or dogs in the way. So try to make sure your shoulders are relaxed, not hunched up. Sometimes I feel like I'm sleeping like this. Try to make sure your shoulders are relaxed down away from your neck. You're on your side. Your knees are up nice and high. Don't have your legs straight. You want your knees to be bent up nice and high. Hips are stacked in a nice straight line. Imagine you've got a metal pole digging through one hip, the other hip into the bed, so you can't roll your hips back. Your hips have to stay still. Arms are out straight. Going to squeeze the tummy in. Nice deep breath. As you breathe out, your arm lifts up. You can take another breath there if you need to, and then over further. as far as is comfortable for you. Breathe in. As you breathe out, you're coming back. Now, doesn't matter how far you go. If your shoulder's quite stiff and you can only go that far, not a problem. Go as far as is comfortable for you and then come back. You can go further, fantastic. Doesn't matter if you can't touch the bed, just again, make sure you're doing whatever's comfortable for you and it's not causing you pain. Now, if you've got a dodgy shoulder, which is extremely common, try doing it with your hand on your shoulder, and instead of leading with your hand, you're leading with your elbow. So your elbow is going up and over. So you're twisting, but you're not causing too much stress on your shoulder. You can then straighten the arm if you want to, or you can just keep the hand there and then come back. So your head's following round, your ribs are following round, but your pelvis is not moving, it's staying still. And you haven't forgotten to breathe. So that's the dodgy shoulder version, where you just would lead with your elbow, and that's the full version where you would lead with your hand. I'll just do a few on the other side to finish off. So you're on your side, you've got your pillow to support your neck, your knees are up nice and high, you're keeping your hips still, you're not letting them roll back, shoulders are down. It's quite difficult to relax the shoulders down when you're lying on it, so try and make sure that that's not hunched up. And then the big one is this, opening up with the whole of your arm, twisting your head round, twisting your ribs round, you're rotating your ribs round and keeping your pelvis still. Or the easier one with the dodgy shoulders, you're leading with your elbow, opening up the chest there. So you should feel a big stretch down your spine. You should feel like your lungs are expanding, you're opening up your chest. Really, really good if you've got breathing problems, asthma or anything. Really, really good idea. Just a nice exercise to do to wake you up, wake your body up. I'll just do a couple more big ones. Keep the tummy squeezed in, keep the knees still and together. There we go, that is it. So try doing some of those very, very gentle exercises in bed, just to help you wake up or help you get to sleep if you want to do them before you go to bed. Thank you very, very much for joining me. Have a lovely weekend. Let's hope we get some beautiful weather. Thank you.